Yo, what's goody? Welcome to another episode of Webcam Woes. This is kind of a bonus one because let's just say YouTube loves to copyright strike and ban things really quickly, and I didn't even have a chance to try to make a different video, but I'm not worried about that right now. Pretty much, he asked me, is the comic book industry dying? And honestly, yes, I think it is, and it's okay because this isn't the first time. But if comic books die now, it's gonna be a little bit harder for them to come back. Why do I think that they're dying? Well, it's pretty simple. I got a couple reasons. One, honestly, people don't read comic books, or they don't read comic books the way that they should or the way that they could. What I mean by that? Well, playing into number two, people like these characters not reading a comic book. And the reason why is there's a lot of work that goes into it, and the fans that sometimes are a fan of these things, they make it hard to be a fan. So there's a lot of gatekeeping sometimes, a lot of, let's call it unaccessibility, aka you can't come here because you weren't really here, you know what I mean? Oh, you don't know any of these stories, you're not I don't know the word to say because I'm trying to be PG. But let's just say that people make it hard for people to get into it if they want to. But a lot of people don't want to, because vice versa, the people who are fans make it seem really, really weird and really, really annoying to actually like this stuff. But let's say you get past all that, you're reading, you like the character. Number three, it's kind of hard to start liking a comic book when there's so much to get into. You know what I'm saying? There's like 50 plus years of comic book history. That's just one character. Where do you start? What do? You like him in the movie. Okay, now what do you do? Where do you go from there? It's not a really good transition point. They're not really marketing it to where somebody could potentially get into it if they wanted to. I also think that there is a lack of knowledge or a lack of respect put on the creators themselves. Like with anime, even though it's still kind of the same, there's more of a knowledge base or a respect. Like if you like Dragon Ball, you probably know that Akira Toriyama is the one who made it, and you like him, and you know he's the one who made the manga, and you know some of his development history. It's not the same. I could say Todd McFarlane. 9 times out of 10, somebody's gonna say, "Oh, is that the guy who made Spawn?" Damn, you might not even know that. Did you know he worked on Spider-Man? Did you know he did anything at Marvel? But I say Jim Lee. What the fuck is Jim Lee? Exactly. But I bet money some of your favorite Batman stories or some of your favorite Batman poses came from that man. Also, did you know he used to work at Marvel? Did you know he's worked on the #1 selling comic book of all time? Do you even know what that is? See, stuff like that. That's kind of like some of the homework that you might not know, but knowing it helps you get into the industry more. But let's just take all the numbers game out. We'll get to sales a little bit. We talked about the creators and how the creators should be valued and at least respected. That way you can understand how they make the work. But let's just take the creators out of this for a second too. The actual characters. You might just simply not know who they are, or you just might not simply know how to get access to it. Right? If I just, like Guardians of the Galaxy, let's use me. I didn't know who Guardians of the Galaxy was before the MCU. I'm gonna be honest with you. But did I care? No, not really. They looked cool in the movie, but I was semi-interested to be like, oh, okay, cool. You know, who are they? But I know for a fact I did not go to the store, to my comic book store, to go look for Guardians of the Galaxy comics. I didn't go to my library to look for Guardians of the Galaxy comics, because the characters, even though they were cool for the movie, I wasn't interested enough to go and look for the comic. And I'm already a comic book fan. So if I'm not doing it, please believe somebody who has no idea what a Marvel is gonna do that. They have probably much better things to do with their time, quote unquote, and they probably don't respect the comic book itself, so they're not gonna look at it. It is what it is. So unless comic book creators want to change the way people look at the actual medium itself, which it actually has some things that are kind of unique, like the blend of writing and art. Like, it's not really done in a whole lot of other mediums the way that comic books is. Like video games, that's something a little different. Like you're actually playing the experience. That's something only video games can do. Movies, you're actually visually seeing the experience and you're just sitting there watching. You know what I mean? That's a different experience. If you're reading a comic book, you're actually reading the experience at your own pace, and you can stop, you can reread it, you can imagine the voices, you can kind of plot out the stuff in your head. That's a different experience. Also, just the actual feeling of picking up a book, whether it be weekly, an actual issue, whether it be a trade paperback, whether it be online, those are unique mediums that other entertainment areas really don't have. But no one really knows that because they don't even know that there is comic book stores, because like I've been saying this whole time, no one puts respect on a comic book. But now I gotta bring sales back into it, because honestly, comic book sales, they're kind of hidden. They're not selling like they used to anymore. Because back in the 90s, they were selling like millions. I mean millions. Now, barely 100,000. Why is that? Well, plus the issues I've already said before, no pun intended, is the quality's not as good. There's a lot of other entertainment out there. There's music, there's movies, there's video games, there's manga, damn near, there's anime. If you're not already interested, there's a lot of other things you could be doing, and a lot of things you probably put respect on, since you might put respect on like a Halo video game. You might read the comic book, but you're probably not going to, because since you don't like comic books already, for whatever reason, you're like, it's a comic book, who cares? So like I just said, if comic book companies were able to change that idea, which I have an idea how to do that. One is you make more, what's the word I'm looking for? Multimedia things. So you see how Marvel's been doing movies, and then they have the new Spider-Man game, and then they also had like the cartoons, and they also have like like apparel, like clothing. If you saturate the market, well, not saturate, if you put your character, you make them exposed more in the market, like people know who they are and they see them in different things, and the quality of those different things are good, people are gonna like your character. So then that might get them to want to buy a comic book. But then on the flip side, you have to make the actual comic book valuable, or the way of reading a comic book valuable. Otherwise, all that work is gonna make them look good for the movie or the game, but you're not gonna buy the comic book itself. So with all that being said, the reasons why the comic book industry is failing, I just told you, but here are some quick solutions. Like I just said, multimedia exposure, putting value on the comic book itself and the creator, and the fans as well as non-fans need to come together and be like, you know what, let's explore this together. And that's my little webcam woes. As I said, this is just a bonus episode. I want to try to figure out how I can put the video I just made on a different platform, whether it be Patreon, whether it be Dailymotion, Vimeo. You guys let me know what you guys want to see, because I don't want that video to go to waste, and I definitely want to get discussion about comic books as well as anime, because the video I just made was about anime, but we'll get more to that when we get there. I'm going to put a link to a website in the description below. I'm not going to promote it here because I don't want nothing bad happen, they get shut down, whatever. But if you did want to start reading into comics, you want to start getting into these characters, I highly recommend that site because I use it a lot. Well, semi a lot. I still do buy comic books from now and again, but my recommendation is don't click on the ads, and you can just explore one at a time. Just do one issue at a time, look at one comic book at a time, find a character you like, do some research if you want before you get on their website. It makes it a whole lot easier, and just go from there, y'all. Who are your favorite comic book characters? Let me know in the comments below. Do you have any favorite comic book story arcs or writers or artists or anything like that? Let me know. But that's all I got for today. I'll put my intro or my outro here when I get one. Thank you for making it this far, because every time you don't have to do that, but you do, and I thank you and appreciate you for it. And that's all I got. Peace out, y'all. Catch you on the next one.